Would you talk a little bit about Joe Thompson, since I know he's one of the major mentors, and maybe what you learned from him or what he taught you?
Yeah, so like while I was doing all this music, I was starting to, go to these camps, and I'd go see these releases, Marshall Wyatt's releases, Folksy Sure to Pull Some Bow, and the Corn Shucker, something, Frolic Corn. Anyway, there was a couple of Violin Sing the Blues for Me.
That's it.
Where you see black people playing fiddles and banjos on the front of a CD, and I was like, what? What is this? And so I started seeking out all of the little, tiny little number of recordings that I could featuring black string bands, and started learning that history, and got the bombshell dropped of the banjo being a black instrument, being, created by the African diaspora in the Caribbean, as I later kind of refined, and then was pointed to CeCe Conway, who had written African Banjo Echoes in Appalachia. And I bought that book, and then I went and saw her, and then she said, and of course you know Joe Thompson, and I was like, who? It's like a living black proponent of this music is still around. And so Joe was a fiddler, and he was from Mebane, North Carolina, which I'd been going to family reunions forever, every year. Never knew he existed. I was on the other side of Mebane. Mebane's not that big, but, it's big enough when you're not on the same street, So I went and saw him play, and that was it, and all of a sudden, from what I've said this before, but, the purpose of my life kind of clicked, because I was like, if something as big of a 180-degree turn of the banjo, which I had been told my entire life was a white quote-unquote hillbilly instrument from Appalachia, is actually a black-created instrument from the Caribbean, what else don't I know? And who else, it's not even just what else don't I know, but why don't I know it? And in whose best interest is it that I don't know this? Not just me, but everybody, right? I'm just a proxy for everybody, because I got the same education as everybody else. I had the same knowledge. I had the same memories of the Beverly Hillbillies, and Hee Haw and Deliverance and all that crap. I've had the same, I had the same exposure and the same, so that's kind of how I have gone forward from there, is like everything is serving that mission of what else can I uncover that has been covered or erased in order to keep us separated. There's always a reason. This doesn't just happen, and that's been ever since, meeting Joe. Joe was 86 when I met him, and a community musician in the old style, where his family band, the Thompson family band, it was he and his brother, and then it was he and a cousin when his brother moved north as part of the Great Migration. It's like when there was a dance, the Thompson family band played, and white dance, black dance, everybody did it. They were just called frolics, they didn't even call them square dances, they were called frolics. And they were part of the community, and they were part of a mixed community. And to have that living connection, the Chocolate Drops played with him for years. We'd go down on Thursday nights. We became the Carolina Chocolate Drops because of him. And we would play with him his tunes over and over again. And it's at the foundation of everything that's come after. Everything that I play has a little bit or a lot, depending on what it is, of Joe.
What are you going to play for us?
I'll play a Joe tune. I mean, I can't.
All right.
Georgia buck is dead.